What is going on, Alpha Hunters? It is a very wonderful hump day Wednesday on the markets, and we still not really seeing too much action on the markets, even today. Even though the last 30 minutes have had a pretty good sell down, still not a big deal. I mean, we're only down 0.25%. So the market's going to react. We just got Fed minutes, and so we'll see what the reaction is here over the next 10-15 minutes or so. But I'd imagine it'd probably be a non-event because it usually is a non-event. A little bit of a gap down here on the markets on the SPY this morning, about 1.1% of a gap down. But yeah, we didn't do anything. A little bit of a rise, but a little bit of drop, and kind of just chopped sideways for pretty much the whole day. And that was about it. We very briefly got positive at the high of the day, but that was about it. Past 30 minutes, a little bit of a sell down. And we'll see what happens here over the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. So, all right. Q's, a little bit of a gap up here. Chop sideways. Obviously, we got some big time tech earnings today with NVDA. So we'll see what NVIDIA is about. Q's, even though they had a gap up, they're basically down just about 0.2%. It's kind of hard. It's moving around quite a bit right now. IWM, nice gap down here on the IWM. Currently down about 0.5%. We had about a 0.4% gap down there. Oh, took it at the wrong spot. About a third of a percent of a gap down. Yeah, choppy. Yep, they're all been that way. Okay. DIA, nice gap down, choppy. A little bit more of a downtrend to it during the day. Nothing crazy though. Currently down about 0.4% there on the DIA. RSP currently down about 0.15%. This is actually the one that's doing the best out of these five. A little bit of gap down. Nice bounce up until about 45 minutes ago. All right, so that's the RSP. It's a quick rundown of how they look intraday. RSP's pulling back. I mean, we're getting a little bit of this pullback. Kind of talked. I was expecting this for the beginning part of the week, but man, this is a very mellow pullback. Very, very subtle. So RSP at least coming back to the moving averages. Yeah, not looking too dangerous. DIA having its pullback. All right. Some of these are starting to look pretty attractive. Especially here on the IWM. DIA starting to look pretty good. Okay, Q's. Yeah, Q's is still like red hot, man. Monday, Tuesday, just getting bought up. Everybody obviously is looking really forward to NVIDIA's earnings that we're going to get today. So, SPY. All right. I mean, it might continue just to kind of chop sideways. If we do get a little bit of a gap down, just look for it to come down to the 10 EMA tomorrow morning. Look for that bounce. I would just be looking for the bounce. If we get a quick one by the end today, maybe we do drop. Shoot, how much more of a drop would that be? That'd be about another 0.5% or so. So yeah, if we get down about 1% today, you're probably just looking for the bullish play. If we do wind up selling down that much by the end of the day, I wouldn't make that call, but I'll just be more willing to be bullish off that 10 EMA there on the daily on the SPY at least. Q's is pretty far extended here. About a 0.9% sell down. So this thing would have to get down almost 1.5% on the day. About 1.33% on the day to get to about that 10 EMA area. All right. So real quick, let's just talk about it before we go on to the VIX. Obviously, we got NVIDIA earnings today. And it was kind of interesting because we did see a report come out yesterday morning that Amazon is no longer, or had canceled orders for their H200 from NVIDIA, the H200 AI chips, right? So, I don't know if that means Amazon's developing their own, if they're going with somebody else. They didn't really clarify that. It was just kind of a report. So, yeah, NVIDIA, I wouldn't want to touch this either way because I could definitely see it kind of going either way. They might say that, yeah, I mean, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown on demand. If they say that, we might see a little bit of a gap down. But if we gap up, this is the play I would be most willing to play. If we gap up tomorrow, I would probably be looking for the fade. I would be looking for the sell. That's what I would look for out of any possible scenario on earnings, going into earnings and then coming out of earnings. Like if it gaps down, I can see it get bought up. And if it kind of just flat, I mean, it could kind of just stay here and just chop and then push up later on. But if it gaps up, I'd be much more willing to be looking for that sell. Anyways, that's kind of my thoughts there on NVIDIA. If you play it, good luck to you. I do not play earnings. Too much kind of goes on. We got a new low. We actually took out the December low on the VIX here this morning. Okay, so took that out. Yeah, took that out this morning. The first 30 minutes we dropped off there on the VIX. Took out the December lows. There you go. We have moved higher since then though. DXY. All right. Okay. Interesting. So we were getting in here the past couple of days and kind of chopping sideways. Looks like it's going to continue a little bit higher. Most likely it'll be the highest close over the past week here on the DXY. I have a hard time believing it would come back down. See, yeah, especially with the Fed minutes being announced here just recently. It looks like it's got a little bit of a pop to it. Okay, so be interesting to see how this thing closes today. If it comes back down, then yeah, probably starting to look kind of bearish at that point in time. But if it closes up here towards the upper end of the day, it might be looking pretty good to break through those downtrending moving averages. Talking about the gold, yep, we took out this little consolidation area here over the past week and a half, past week really, broke that high, come back down, basically kind of filled this gap area too. That's kind of right where we're bouncing, right in this area. It's also where the moving average is for the 10 EMA. Looks pretty good. I'll just be bullish on that. Absolutely. Nice little snap back there. 10-year yield. Yeah, nice little upper wick. What's going on with the yields right now? A little bit of a pop there. Yeah, we'll see what yields and really dollar do by tomorrow. Okay. Because we're also going to get some jobs data tomorrow. What is that? Thursday jobs. Yep, initial jobless claims. So that'll be a pretty important one. For this week, it'd be kind of important just because there's not a whole lot kind of going on. So we'll see what happens with the yields tomorrow. 10-2 inversion looks like it's continuing to break down. Interesting. Okay, so let me take a look then. What's going on with the 30? So the 30 looking like it wants to keep pushing down. Okay. And the 2-year, this would be more concerning, is shorter term rates moving higher. I think that looks more promising than anything else on the yield curve side. So, kind of thinking about that. Typically, you don't want to. You definitely don't want to see short-term yields really pushing kind of strong, and yeah, 2 years pushing kind of strong today. All right. I'll be curious to see if the 10 and 30 kind of follow it here in the next couple days. HYG. All right, so we rejected off the spot. We had the pullback. We tried to bounce off of it, and now we broke that down. So that's kind of, this sets up a little bit of a breakdown possibility here on the HYG. Question is how far it would go. I mean, also we got some near-term moving averages here on the near term to the downside. So yeah, if we can get through that, then we got a pretty large pocket back down to some lower levels here. Okay. Yeah, HYG, not looking great. Not looking the best. Yeah, neither is the LQD. Okay, we pulled back Monday. We then bounced on Tuesday. Pulled back even more. Again. What does the TLT look like? So, okay. So the TLT doesn't look as bad. A little more the longer term, which the 30-year did not look, 30-year yields did not look as strong, right? So Okay. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to think. It's definitely getting compressed in here. LQD or the TLT here looks a little bit better than the LQD and HYG, but yeah, I mean it won't matter if yields do go higher. I mean it doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, TLT getting kind of tight in there. Take a quick look at the IYT. So the IYT, we take a look at transports yesterday, and they've been getting wrecked here for a while. So just want to take a quick look. Yeah, also we're not doing a whole lot today. This doesn't really set up well, though. I mean, you look at how small today is. I know today is like very insignificant of a day, but when you have a pretty good downtrend, I mean, look at how all the red days in a row: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, and then yesterday was a pretty large down red day. Then you have a small little upper wick inside day, green candle day. I mean, that just says that, yeah, I mean, we're just sideways retesting kind of on an intraday kind of time frame. Yeah, you look at the hourly, we had a little bit of a check back to the 10 EMA as it's coming down on the hourly. So it might just chop a little bit more and then break down here a little bit later. But but basically today's little small insignificant candle basically says we're gonna probably keep going lower. Okay. The question is gonna be, do we just come down to about the 64 level like we did last time back on May 1st? It's also where the 200 moving average is. I'm gonna guess eventually probably not. We might just chop again off of it, might just bounce again off of it, but eventually I think we're gonna roll over and break that 200. Yeah, and that, obviously that we can take a look at later on as it happens. All right, take a look here at sector rotation for the day. You can see tech had a nice little gap up there. Healthcare doing pretty good. Communications, tech, industrials leading the day. Financials, staples, and real estate all in line with the market there. I mean, they're really tightly packed there. Utilities, materials, discretionaries, and energies at the lower end of the day. Energies are really getting hit. Okay. Take a look. Intraday, healthcare staples doing pretty good. Communications, industrials, real estate, financials all outperforming. Utilities, materials kind of in line with the market there. Tech underperforming. Yeah, tech had a gap up, but it's definitely sold off, especially over the past hour. Tech has really kind of sold off a little bit more than everything else. Discretionaries and energies, yeah, lagging behind there today.